So x over 7, I'm just going to write down the sign, is equal to x over 7. The cosine is equal to 7. Oscar had a hump be x over what? Oscar had the square root of 40. I'm sorry, square root of 49. Oh, the square root of 49 over 7, and then the tangent of apple would be x over square root of 49. Now, for the inverse cosine, you're going to punch that in there. For the inverse tangent, you're going to punch that in there. And for the secant, inverse secant, if it asks you for the inverse secant, you're going to punch that in there. It'll be 7 over the square root of 49 minus x squared. So, that'd be x over 7. And then the tangent would be, well, 3. And then this would be 7 over 49. There you go. So, right angle trig. And you should feel good about yourself. 25. Find the exact value of each of the remaining trigonometric values of theta. I guess that's theta. It looks like 0. Is that theta? I think that's theta. Cosine of theta is equal to negative 24 in quadrant 3. All students take calculus. But the cosine is negative. So you're going to have to use a little bit of brain work. So let's draw our quadrants. All students take calculus. This is in quadrant 3. So it's going to be negative. So quadrant 3, what is the cosine? The cosine, Oscar had a hump. So that means the 25 is positive. How do you know that, Hubert? Somebody tell me. Because the hypotenuse can never be what? Negative. So we know that is 25. So therefore, Oscar had a hump, the adjacent is negative what?
24.
All right, finish the rest of it. Dang old Pythagorean theorem, and then plug and chug. So you might have to use your calculator. I don't think one of these are on the test, but this is a good review question on trig. I don't remember seeing one of these on the test. It could be. So somebody take 25 squared minus 24 squared to be what? 625 minus, I don't know. What does it come out to be? I'm sorry, what? So, this is 7? Negative 7? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Everybody get negative 7, Pendleton, easily?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. So, now you just do sine, cosine, tangent. Now, I'm not going to do the other 3 because if y'all can't flip something upside down, you shouldn't be in calculus. All right, so we got the cosine, so we don't need to worry about that. 24 over 25. Sine Oscar had, so that's going to be negative 7 over 25. And the tangent, Oscar had a hunk of apple, it's going to be negative 7 over negative 24, which is 7 over what? 24. And then you just flip them upside down. Make sure I didn't make a mistake. We'll go ahead and check the sine and the tangent. As long as we can do the sine and the tangent. 3. There we go. And the tangent, we can do 7 over 24. 7 divided by 24. We feel good about ourselves. And then you just flip them upside down. That's a trick I learned in the war. 24 over 7. And secant is of the cosine, so that's going to be negative 25 over 24. Whatever. Negative 25 divided by 24. And what is cosecant? Cosecant is the sine, so it's going to be negative 25 over 7. How you feel?
Good.
I feel better. I understand it.
What?
She said she
I
feels
understand.
better.
Did you say you don't understand it or understand it?
I understand
She
it.
does.
Okay, good. All right, next, let's go to the test. So that takes care of that. Let's go here. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let's go here, no, here, and click on it. And notice it has a due date. So let's go over this right quick. We're going over it so for the recording. We have a due date, so that way y'all don't ask what?
When's it due?
When's it due? The time, so you don't ask what time it's due. How much time you have, and how many times you can take the test. Somebody will tell me they had a 5-day funeral to go to and they couldn't get it all done. Anybody want to take a bet on it? Somebody will. You click on it, guess what? It's going to tell you the same dang thing over. It's going to say you got 36 questions. It's due on the 2nd at midnight. And you have 5 times to take it. And what will I take? The highest or average them all 5 up?
Hi.
I take the highest. You have 90 minutes. Now, why does it have start the test? The reason it has we want to start the test is because some people will try to take a test when there's lightning strike outside, tornadoes and hurricanes all at the same time. All right? Especially if they only got 2 times to take the test. Now, you got 5 times. So it's okay to be liberal and try to take a test during a thunderstorm, hurricane, and tornado. But chances are Murphy's Law will hit if you're taking a test in a thunderstorm, lightning storm, and tornado and a hurricane. Now, I'm being facetious, but the whole point is, if you got all that going on outside, don't take the test. Because what is true about Murphy's Law?
Anything bad that can happen will.
Thank you. I'm feeling faint. Somebody actually knew it. Thank you. So hit start test, and it'll start the test. You got 36, is it 36 questions? Yeah. If you take a form of Hubert's test, unit test in class, how is it counted? This is one of the 12 or 15 questions that if you get wrong, you don't what? You don't tell anybody. So what's the answer?
B.
B. These are on every single test. Why? Well, I'll explain in a minute. The only one that has United States on it. People get this one wrong. They don't read the dadgum handouts. All right, there's a math question. What kind of horizontal shift do we have? None. What kind of vertical shift do we have?
Down.
Down 2.
2 down. So you've got V, absolute value, absolute vodka. You got a V, and this opening down is wide because it's 1/2, and it has a vertical shift of -2. Which one of these has a vertical shift and opening downward?
A.
A. Now, let me tell you what I do on this test, because I guarantee you somebody in here is going, golly, he's going to show us the answers to the test right before the test. Okay, dumbass, I'm not going to give you the exact same test, all right? Has everybody got that?
Yes.
Each one of, there's 36 questions, well, take away 12. What's 36 minus 12? 24? 20, what is it? Whatever. There's 24 math questions on this test. Everybody with me?
Yes.
For each of the 24 math questions, you're pulling from a pool of about 5 to 10 questions. So this is like a snowflake. You can sit side by side. Are you going to get the same test as your neighbor?
No.
No. Different order, algorithmically generated, and you're pulling from about 5 to 10 questions per each 36 questions, or 26, 24 questions. So there is no way you're going to get the same test. So that's, just wanted to let you know that, because some people actually think that I'm going to give you the test in class and it's going to be the same exact test. I guarantee you somebody was thinking that. Describe how the graph of 1 over x plus 4 plus 3 can be obtained from 1 over x. What's the vertical shift? Up 3. So that means it's either A or D. Be careful with the horizontal shift. What's the horizontal shift?
Left 4.
Left 4. So the answer is D. When does the homework terminate? This is an actual question that students asked me toward the end of the semester. Notice I said toward the end of the semester. Some of these questions come from students that don't have a clue. All right, find the domain. What's the domain of 2x minus 10? Anytime you have x to the first, x to the second, x to the third, and you don't have a radical, a rational, or a logarithm, what is the domain?
All real numbers.
Good job. Radical notation. What is the square root of 100? 10. What should a student do if something happens and they are out of class for a while? Funeral, home, or high school event, wreck. Somebody needs to what? Blame it on the Russians. How about communicate with the instructor? This comes from a student that waited till grade turn-in, that's a week after the final exam, to tell me that she went on a cruise during the Unit 3 exam and she didn't have internet. Everybody got that?
Yes.
You see what I have to deal with? All right, do that one. Natural log of x plus 12 plus the natural log of x minus 5. Natural log of x plus 12 plus the natural log of x minus 5 is equal to 2 natural log of x. Now, what's the first thing you want to do on this problem? Well, you already taken the log of both sides, so you need to rewrite it, correct?
Yeah.
So rewrite it, you get natural log of x plus 12 times x minus 5 is equal to the natural log of x what? Squared. Now, are we doing anything new here, or is this review of logarithms? This is a review of logarithms. So what's the rule if you've taken the log of both sides and the bases are the same? What's the rule? They set them equal to each other. So that and that tells us that this is equal to this. So now you've got just a basic algebra 2 problem. Dang old FOIL method on the left. All right, do it. Do the FOIL method and finish it up. $12 minus 5 is what? 7? So that's going to give us x squared plus 7x minus what? Dang old 60 is equal to x squared. Somebody check me on that.
Yeah, that's right.
And what happens to the x squareds?
Cancel.
And you get 7x is equal to 60 divided by 7. 60 over 7. What does it say? Simplify your type as an integer or what? Fraction. So I'm going to type 60 over 7. Please read the directions. You're in Calculus 2, Calculus 1. Please read the directions. 60 over 7. Don't do like your teacher. Make sure you read the directions. Next. All right, try that one. It's not supposed to bunch them up like that, but it's doing it, so I may have to go in and change the random order. All right, try that one. I'll rewrite it for you. Log base 4 t plus 21 minus log base 4 t plus 5 is equal to log base 4 of t. So what rule are you going to use here? Not the product rule, but the what? Starts with a Q. Quotient rule. So that means log base 4 of t plus 21 divided by t plus 5 is equal to log base 4 of what? So that's going to be t plus 21 divided by t plus 5 is equal to t. So how are we going to start this solving process? You got to get rid of the fraction. How do you get rid of a fraction?
Just wipe out the denominator on each side.
Wipe out the denominator by multiplying both sides by the denominator, correct? Like you said. So I'm going to multiply. Take my handy dandy blue pen because I'm trying to be a good teacher to y'all. And I'm going to multiply both sides by t plus 5. And the t plus 5 cancels. And that leaves you with t plus 21 is equal to t squared plus 5t. Bring over the t, that's 4t, and minus 21. Now I'm going to try to use the reverse FOIL, and that's going to give us 3 and 7. X, or whatever. I don't care about variables, okay? If you accidentally put an X, just see me after the test and I'll fix it, or I don't care about that. That's the least of my worries. T, and then 3 and 7. And that's going to be a -7 and a +3. Somebody check me. So our answer is -3 and +7. But you cannot take the log of a negative number so negative 3 is out. So your answer is what? 7. I don't think you can take the log of a negative number, can you? Last time I checked, you could. Put a 7 in there, and we feel amazing. Okay, well, it's not homework, it's a question. So it should be 7 because you can't take the log of a negative number, and that negative 3 would be right here with the log base 4 of, and a lot of people say, well, Hubert, that's log base 4. Well, the change base formula, you'd be taking the log of negative 3 in the numerator, and you can't do that. It'd be undefined.
Mr. McClure?
Mine's switched up.
I'm sorry, what?
I think it's t minus 3 and then t plus 7.
Minus 7 plus 3 is negative 4, isn't it?
No, but shouldn't it be a positive 4?
Okay, thank you. I brought the T over, and I thought it was supposed to be positive. You're right. Mr. Patel, you're right. So that would be a minus 3 and a plus 7, correct? Which would be a positive 3. Thank you. So I probably got that one wrong. I guess I can't change it, but let's see if I can change it. I guess I can. Oh, no. Oh my Lord, what happened?
You do Alt
Can I
Tab?
go in and change it? Let's see if I can go in and change it. Yeah, I can. That answers that question. Next. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
There is a question on the test about a right triangle, and there is it gives you the degree, and then it gives you a prime, and I don't know what to do with the prime.
How can you, what are you asking? Where are you at?
So, the first question on my first attempt on the test.
You're
had a
taking
right
the
triangle.
test while I'm going over the test?
No, I've already before class even started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And there's a question, and explain it again.
And there's a question that has the degree.
I was
and
like, damn, that's ballsy.
It has the degree and the side, but then there's like a prime. Like it gives you like 37 prime. I'm not sure what to do with the prime. I can send you an email if you want me to.
You're going to have to send me a picture of it because it's going to be hard for me to see it because of the algorithm. Send me a picture and I'll look at it and I'll do it tomorrow for you. I don't know what a prime is doing there either. Shouldn't be a prime. Prime means derivative. Anyway, we'll look at it. All right, next question. All right, do this one. Rationalize the what?
Denominator.
The numerator. Now, I intentionally, write this down, I intentionally put numerator and denominator on this test. A lot of people say, Hubert, why? Because in Calc 2, there are some times that you're going to take the numerator and you're going to rationalize the numerator. So you have to get used to doing it. It's the only time you ever see it is when you're in Calc 2 and a little bit of Calc 3. So that's why I decided to put it on here. So what is the conjugate of 5x plus 3y? That was meant
Square root
for...
of 5x.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Mr. Patel. I appreciate it. Minus the square root of 3y over square root of 5x minus square root of 3y. So I am rationalizing the numerator. Now there's one question rationalizing the numerator and one question rationalizing the denominator. The numbers are not the same, so you're not going to get the same ones. So now you just have to say what is, and that'd be 5x minus what? 3y? So where do you see 5x minus 3y? Well, should be, well, I guess we'll have to do it. So that's going to be parentheses squared minus parentheses squared, and that's going to be square root of 5x and the square root of 3y over, and that's going to be a mess. This right here comes out to be, oh, I see what they're doing. They're going to cancel out. This is 5x plus 3y, 5x minus 3y, 5x plus 3y. Okay, that just comes out of nowhere. 5x plus 3y, 5x minus 3y, and square root of 5x minus square root of 3y. I know what's going to happen. They're going to cancel. So what happens to the square root here? That cancels with that, and that cancels with that, and you're left with 5x minus 3y over 5x plus 3y, 5x minus 3y, square root 5x minus square root 3y. And what cancels? 5x minus 3y cancels, Hubert. So which one does that leave? It's going to leave 1 over, so it's not this one. There's a 1, 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 there's a 1. 5x plus 3y. Well, that's square root of 5. That's nowhere. 5x plus 3y, 5x plus 3y. And then square root of 5x minus 3y. That's not right. Square root of 5x minus 3y. I think that's it. Thing is E. And you're going to have a denominator just like that one. And you're welcome that I didn't pick the open answer, that you have to type it in. You're welcome. Next. All right. Go ahead. This says express as a single log. Does it say solve?
No.
No. So the first thing you got to do is get rid of what's in front. So let's get rid of what's in front. That 5 halves, we're going to take that up here. So that's going to be natural log of 4x to the 6th raised to the what? 5 halves minus natural log of 2y to the 10th raised to the what?
4/5.
4/5. Well, I don't want to raise that. Well, yeah. Okay, now you're going to have to distribute that 5 halves. And that's going to be natural log of 4 to the 5 halves. Natural log of 4 to the 5 halves. X to the 6 over 1 times 5 over 2. And then minus the natural log of 2 to the 4/5 times y to the 10 over 1 times 4 over 5. And for those of you that don't know what I'm doing the power rule of exponents, which is basically the distributive law of exponents. And that's a 1. Okay, now let's simplify. So that's going to be natural log of 4 to the 5 halves, x, and that's going to be that 6 will cancel, that's a 3. 3 times 5 is what? 15. Minus natural log of 2 to the 4/5, and that 5 will cancel with that. 2 times 4 is what? 8. Now we've got to change. This is exponent over what? Exponent over index. So that's the square root of 4 to the 5th power. Natural log of the square root of 4 to the 5th power times x to the 15th power minus the natural log exponent over index. So that's going to be the 5th root of 2 to the 4th power which I don't think you can do, y to the 8th. What's the square root of 4? Huh? 2, so that's 2 to the 5th power. So that's going to be natural log of 2 to the 5th power, x to the 15th power. What's so funny? Minus, what's so funny? Got to share. Okay, can you share with everybody? Okay. 2 to the 4th power, you really can't do anything with that. 2 to the 4th, what is that number? That's what, 16? And you can't take the 5th root of 16, so you might have to leave that one as 2 to the 4/5. So natural log of 2 to the 4/5, and then y to the 8th. And then you can rewrite that using the quotient rule. That's going to be the natural log of 2 to the 5th, x to the 15th, divided by 2 to the 4/5. And you can still subtract exponents here, so they may do that, over y to the what? 8. Just for giggles, that would be 25 minus 4, which is 21, right? So I don't know if they're doing this or not, but that's going to be the natural log of 2, what did I just say? 21/5 to the 21/5 x to the 15th over y to the 8th. So one of these answers is going to be your answer. Somebody look and see which one is it. Please tell me there's an answer on there like it.
They both are on.
Very.
Which one? B? Okay, 2 to 21/5 be D, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be D. Question. And that's just a review of how to write natural logs. Next. When are finals?
July, late July.
It's the only real answer. You're supposed to get mad at me because of, no, you're not supposed to know what that is. That's the woman didn't. She was offended because of 9/11. And I said, well, what'd you feel about December 7th, 1941? And she looked at me with a serious look and said, what's that?
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, there's our friend, the inverse cosine. I'm not going to do this one because we did 2 of them right before class started. So you should write it down. Sine, parentheses, 2, inverse cosine of 16x. I don't think I did. I think I did what? 13x? Mm-hmm. So you should be able to do that one. I'm not going to go over that one because some of you are going to spontaneously combust in a few minutes. What time's class over?
In 2 minutes.
Yeah, a couple of minutes. Y'all going to explode, so I can't. Okay, what? By factoring, reverse what?
FOIL.
FOIL. Good job. You don't pronounce it. I don't either. Okay, what is the form? What is that? Pythagorean theorem. Rewrite using the definition of a logarithm. Find the inverse. We did one like this in class. All it is find the inverse. Doesn't ask you to do anything else. What is my email address? The only one that's real. If you miss a question and believe it is correct, I'd like to go over this one before the test because y'all do all kinds of crazy things. What are you supposed to do? Send several emails to Hubert with the last one saying, hello? No. What's the best answer?
Ask you after class.
Yes, isn't that something? The guy, oh shoot, it's already going on. I'm trying to show y'all these, so y'all kind of be patient, okay? Use a graphing calculator to graph the function. What is the domain and the range? Well, you know it's going in the opposite direction. You know it's got a horizontal shift of 81 to the left. So it's going to be way over on the left-hand side. So anyway, that's set the denominator equal to 0. I meant not the denominator, the radicand. Factor, reverse FOIL. Evaluate. Exponent over index. And that's a fraction. So you got, first thing you got to do is put a 1 over it and make it to the positive 3/2 power. Rewrite using the product rule. Factor. Rationalize the denominator. No way, no how. I do not replace the final with the exam. Here it is. When is the last day of class for this semester? I'm being sacrilegious by putting Judgment Day. Whatever. 20, 10, 50. It's only one that equals what?
100.
100. Why does Hubert not do extra credit at the end of the semester? Because he is a bit. No, because he awards me extra points. Well, he's a bastard. Completing the square. Put the 4 on the other side, take the square root. Rationalize the denominator. I didn't know there was 2 on there, sorry. Factor the special product, shortcut number 2. Completing the square and completing the square. Everybody got an idea?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, everybody's going to say yes, sir, because you're fixing to spontaneously combust. So I need to hurry up.